to have you guys here, and thank you so much for coming. First, we're going to introduce ourselves. This is business team here at Paly Robotics. I'm Caroline. That's me. Nice to meet you.
I'm Nicholas.
I'm Victoria. I'm Luna.
I'm Griffin. I'm not on the business team, so I'm not in that picture.
Neither am I.
Yeah, I'm Brennan, also not on the business team.
Okay, so do you guys want to share your names as well? And also share what grade you're in and what school you guys are at?
You guys are welcome to unmute. You guys can unmute if you would like to for this.
We'll be coming to the thing.
Hello, I'm Gotham and I am going into 9th grade.
Great. Which school?
At Paly.
Oh, nice. So we'll see you next year.
Yeah.
I'm Gus, and I go to JLS, and I'm going to 8th grade.
I'm Alexander. I'm at JLS, and I'm going to 7th grade.
I'm Tanisha and I'm going into 6th grade at Green.
You're out of the screen.
I'm Gabe, and I'm going into 6th grade at JLS.
Yeah, but we're coming to the free.
I'm Maya and I'm going into 8th grade at Castellano.
I'm Samita and I'm going into 8th grade at JLS.
All right, has everyone shared? All right, it's great to meet all of you guys. So before I start, I'm just gonna go over some Zoom rules. Basically, just be respectful and kind. Don't share the Zoom link with others who haven't signed up. And think of this as a school setting, so don't say anything inappropriate that you wouldn't at school. Be open to learning. This is a safe space for you guys to grow. So don't worry about making mistakes, and we're all gonna be supporting you guys. It's important to listen to each other. So listen to your counselors and their suggestions. And you can also ask each other for input. Be present. So that means the more you participate, the more you can get out of these lessons. If you don't feel comfortable with speaking out loud, you guys can always type into the chat whatever you guys are comfortable with. And don't be afraid to ask us questions. You can ask me or any of the other counselors, and just go ahead. You guys can unmute yourselves as well. And lastly, have fun.
Yeah, so a note about Zoom is that we will get kicked out of the meeting when 40 minutes has passed. So if that's like when we're in the middle of something, it may end up being like that. But if it is, just rejoin with the same link.
All right, so let's start. Business team here at Paly Robotics is responsible for writing awards, which we use for competitions, marketing and branding, which is getting our team name out there and well known in the community, and funding the team. And funding goes towards competitions, building the robot, stuff like that. So we're gonna start with a short warm-up. Imagine you are running your dream company. What would that company be? If someone approached you in an elevator about your business, what would you say to them? You only have a few seconds to talk before the elevator reaches your floor. You guys can respond to this prompt and type it into the chat and share about your idea. So your dream company can be anything, use your imagination, and try to keep your description concise.
Yeah, so we just want to hear about like how you guys would like shape an idea. It can pretty much be anything. We've heard lots of ideas before, so like it can be anything from a social media platform to a robot that works with certain governmental organizations. Um, like we heard before, it can be literally anything.
Yeah.
We just want to hear like how you guys would present that idea in a few sentences.
Okay, great. So our business is a genetic corporation which makes dinosaurs and dragons with DNA tech. It's really fascinating. I really like that idea. And it's really great how you talked about this in detail and you described what exactly you were going to do with your business.
So what would be the purpose of your business? Like what is the goal that you guys are trying to achieve? You guys can unmute, by the way, if you want to just discuss it.
Well, it's kind of okay. Well, I mean, I think it's just because like dinosaurs are extinct, and if we brought them to life, we can see or we can study them better.
Yeah. So if you want to talk, like if the purpose of your business, right, like you mentioned, is for like scientific advancement, right? You can talk about like that's the goal is like to help science, which I think is great. And there's a lot of organizations that are similar to that. Obviously, not with the dinosaurs and dragons part, but the purpose of genetic engineering for the sake of advancing science. That's definitely interesting. Alexander said that my dream company would make shoes and all the workers are robots. Yeah, that's great. So the product specifically in this case are shoes. I guess my question is, what is like the goal of your shoe company? Like what are you guys trying to achieve? Are they athletic shoes? Like is the purpose to help athletes improve, or is it for like casual wear or anything like that?
Well, I guess it'd be more focused on athletic shoes.
Yeah, that's so you can talk about how like how robots would help improve the athletic experience, and that's definitely interesting.
So
Anyone else? Yeah, go ahead.
um, something that you guys can think about while creating your companies is identify a problem that you see in society or in your daily life, and then your business can address that problem with a solution or a product. Riley says that my dream company would be designing air-powered cars. My company would focus on helping climate change and help the world by using less fossil fuels. Yeah, so that's really good. You identified a problem, which is climate change, and then you have a solution, which is flying cars. That's great, or air-powered cars. So.
Yeah, and that's kind of what we want to be going for with this activity, which is we address a problem, which is in this case climate change or a lack of climate sustainable cars, and then we want to have a specific solution in the form of a product. Would anyone else like to share? My business would study animals and capture portions of their DNA to apply to humans, like giving humans the ability to regrow limbs. Wow. Yeah, again, we talked about genetic engineering, and I guess the purpose from this one would be a little different from the one that we heard before. Rather than the purpose to advance science, it would be directly to, I guess, help humans in the form of like regrowing limbs. Yeah, that's definitely interesting. I guess your point, the objective of that would to be like to help humans like regrow from injury, or
Yeah.
Gabriel says, my business is a food company that's goal is to create more enjoyable foods that are created with more respect for animals. Yeah, so that's really great. Once again, you identified a problem, which is like animals, and then your solution is a food company that's probably vegetarian or vegan. Gus says, my company would be running an unlimited food resources by cloning the trees and plants. It would help the parts of the world that don't have enough food. So yeah, that's really great. Once again, identifying the problem, which is hunger, and then having a good solution for that. These are all really great ideas. It was really great hearing from everyone. Are you guys ready to move on? Okay. So what you guys did in the warm-up is very similar to what a mission statement is. Basically, a mission statement is a one-sentence description of what an organization does and what their goals are. It should be used as a concise summary of the overall message and direction of the organization. So in a lot of businesses and organizations, they all have a mission statement that tells consumers or investors about what their company is. So why are mission statements important? They define the purpose and objective of your organization to those who are interested. They describe how an organization serves customers, employees, and investors, and they outline central goals and values and direct activities of the organization.
Yeah, so a big thing with mission statements is that if you're looking at a company, right, we don't necessarily want to go through their entire website every time we want to learn about like a specific company. A lot of times what companies will do to make it more accessible to the public is just to put that mission statement on their front page so people, investors, customers, whatnot, are able to like access that information really easily. And that's definitely helpful when you're trying to get like the most investors, most consumers as possible.
So an example of a mission statement is the Paly Robotics one, which is Paly Robotics is dedicated to enriching the educational experiences of our students and community by increasing STEAM exposure and inspiring others through FIRST programs. So in this mission statement, you can see that it's concise, it's just one sentence, and it gives a brief overview of what we do in Paly Robotics. It also solves the problem, which is not having enough educational experiences about STEAM, and the solution is educating.
Yeah, so anytime we write a mission statement, our goal is to be framing it as like a problem or goal, right? And then the solution, the specific solution to that. So if we look at this, right, the goal or the problem that we're trying to fulfill is the enriching educational experiences. We're trying to somehow achieve that, right? That's our end goal. And then the way that we do it specifically, we talk about by increasing STEAM exposure and inspiring others. So anytime you guys are going to be talking about like how you achieve your goal, by is a really good way to like transition between like your overhead like problem that you're trying to solve or something like that, and then transition to like the specific product or service that you provide.
Okay, so now we're going to play a fun game. Lots of companies and organizations that you've probably run across all have mission statements. So we're going to share the mission statement with you, and then you guys are going to try to guess the organization that it belongs to. And our counselors will read these out loud. Okay, first one. Any counselor can go ahead and read it.
Organize the world's information and make it universally accessible and useful.
You guys can type all of your guesses into the chat.
Google. Yeah, Google's a great guess, and I think that's correct, right?
Yep.
So something that this mission statement does really well is that it's clear. You guys were able to guess who it was. Google's primary function, at least the way that we use it, is organization of data. You can talk about, they have like 400 different services that Google provides, but it boils it down to a primary goal of organizing the world's information and making it accessible. So that's something that this mission statement does really well.
Yeah, so one thing that this mission statement did well is that it's specific to the company. So when we read it, everyone immediately guessed Google, which is what you're trying to achieve with your mission statement. Here's another one.
To bring inspiration and innovation to every athlete in the world.
Go ahead and type in your guesses. There's a lot of Nike, Adidas. These are all really good guesses. Yeah, it's Nike. You guys are really good at this.
So another thing, like we talked about before, it's very specific. They use the word athlete. If we deleted the word athlete from this mission statement, it'd be a little harder to guess which one it was. If we said to bring inspiration and innovation to every person in the world, that would be a lot more broad. But because it uses the word athlete, we know that it's an athletics brand, which makes it a lot easier to guess. So that's something that you guys are going to be aiming for when you talk about like the target audience of your company. we want to be using like specific words like that in our mission statements.
To improve people's lives with the world's best transportation. Yeah, so a lot of people are guessing Uber. It's really close. It's another like ride sharing company. Yeah, so Lyft.
Yeah, it's Lyft.
Yep.
And there's one thing about this one that leaves something to be desired. So it talks about the world's best transportation, but that could easily be applied to like a car company like Ford or Toyota. So something that we want to be thinking about is what services Lyft provides specifically. Well, it's a ride sharing. So we could say the world's best transportation colon ride sharing or something like that. And then we would know that it's Lyft.
Yeah.
Saving the world from lukewarm and protecting the environment while we do it.
Yeah, this is a fun one.
Yeah.
Does anyone have any guesses? Patagonia, interesting guess. Yeah, that's close, I guess. Hydra Flask, yes, Hydra Flask is correct. So something that we like about this mission statement, it uses the saving the world from lukewarm, which generally suggests that they are using, like that is what they do. They have a product that keeps your water either really cold or really warm. And it is kind of like a fun one because like saving the world from lukewarm, it isn't one of those huge like goals like a lot of the other companies have, like organizing data, but then they transition to their larger goal, which is like protecting the environment. So it shows what they are doing, which is saving the world from lukewarm through their like water bottles, but then it shows their larger goal of protecting the environment.
This is one of my favorites. So we want the experience of warmth and caring to extend beyond our restaurant walls and into every community where we live and serve. So lots of restaurant guesses. Chipotle,
DoorDash
McDonald's.
is a good guess. Think about specifically, we talk about restaurant walls. So it's probably not going to be a delivering service. Yelp is an interesting guess. Think about the words warmth and caring. It's centers around like this idea of like a family. Think about what restaurant is like centers around family. I think it's in there. Olive Garden. Yeah, it's Olive Garden.
I really like how they added the adjectives of warmth and caring. It really like enhances the mission statement.
Yeah, and like the big thing with Olive Garden, I think if you visit their website, they talk a lot about like our Olive Garden family and stuff like that. And so like that kind of like shows in their mission statement the whole idea of like warmth and caring. So like if that's an idea that represents your company, you should definitely like have it in the mission statement.
Here's another one. To connect students to college success and opportunity. The Stanford.
Yeah, so those are guesses of individual universities. We'll give you a hint. It is not a college.
Khan Academy is
Khan Academy is a good guess. Yes, that is a very good guess. It is close, but it's one of those organizations that you guys will probably hear about more later on. Brain Pop is another good guess. It is you want to reveal it?
Yeah.
It's an organization called the College Board. So this isn't a great mission statement. They're not that great of an organization, but they don't actually talk about what they do in general. They say that, oh yeah, we're connecting students with college access and opportunity, but they don't talk about like what they do specifically. So this is not like a mission statement that we want to be shooting for. So like we talked about like goal and specific. So this is like a big goal, like to connect students with college success, right? But then you don't talk about like what they're doing specifically. So that leaves something to be desired.
Mm-hmm. Another counselor can read this one out loud.
To build the best product, cause no unnecessary harm, use business to inspire, and implement solutions to the environmental crisis. I hear Amazon, Apple, Samsung. We'll give you a hint. It is not a tech company.
Yeah, and I think someone mentioned this one before. So
Yeah.
think of environmental companies.
Yeah.
Yep, Patagonia. And here's the last one. It's not a very good mission statement. So it's to create a better everyday life for the many people. Yeah, so you guys may have a hard time guessing this one because it's very vague and it's not specific to any company.
Amazon is a good guess. Amazon is actually, that would make sense, right? Because it is everyday life. Important word, Caroline, if you could underline it, is every day. So if we think about what are we using every day in our houses, in our like daily lives, maybe? Furniture, yes. It's along the lines of furniture.
I don't know who's underlining it, but
Wait, who's, it's not you that's underlining it? Wait,
no,
what
it's
is everyone
me.
Oh, okay.
Yep, IKEA. That's great.
It is IKEA. So there's a problem with like this mission statement, which is why it's like hard to guess. What do you guys think that might be?
Yeah. Yep, exactly. So too vague. This mission statement can apply to a lot of companies because basically all companies are trying to make a better life for people.
And it's not, someone brought up a good point. It's not actually addressing the problem that they provide. This is just like kind of, we're trying to create a better everyday life, but it's not specific at all. And it doesn't actually boil into a problem. So that's smart. That's when we're trying to do a mission statement, we want to make a problem that's like specific enough that we can address it. And then we want to be even more specific when we create the solution.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so now that you guys have seen a lot of examples of mission statements, you guys are going to create a mission statement for your own company. This can be the one that you made up during the 5-minute warm-up. Okay, so how to write a good mission statement. An effective mission statement should be clear and concise, so just one sentence, like a lot of the ones that we saw. Something to keep in mind is that the easiest decision a reader can make is to stop reading. So make sure that you keep your readers engaged and that it's interesting. It also has to be central and unique to your company. So we covered this with the IKEA mission statement, where it's very vague and it's not unique to IKEA. Lastly, it would be nice to have it inspiring and meaningful. So now we're going to go into individual breakout rooms where you can have one-on-one time with your counselor.
1 second, I just need to assign them.
And so while we wait, you guys can think about what company you want and start thinking about your mission statement.